All right, are you ready? Let there be light. As always, most of you know that my husband Michael and we both serve two different churches. And on Sunday night, we pretty much talk about, for him, he's a music minister, so he's dealing with sound, audio, and music right now at his church in Xenia. And we always talk about, well, what's going on for you tomorrow? And he wants to know what my talk is about, right? And most of the time on Saturday night, I don't feel very complete. I'm still like, oh, I got this. I got way too many ideas. That's what's going on Saturday nights. Way too many ideas. And so we're talking about it. And I tell him about let there be light. And I'm giving him some of my thoughts. And he didn't really have too much to say. So that's fine. I decide I get up at 6 o'clock on Sunday mornings, and then all of a sudden, all those multiple thoughts somehow come together for me. But I wake up this morning and I do my meditation, and which was absolutely wonderful, just watching the day wake up. That's what I did this morning. And Michael gets up and he says, I've been thinking about your talk. And here he's been apparently thinking about it during the night. And he says, what our churches are like birthday cakes. And I'm like, what? Okay, let me hear more. I need more words. He said, no, really, our churches are like birthday cakes. And our congregants are the candles on the birthday cake. And the cake is the foundation. The cake is is God, is the creator, source. It's the good. It's the omnipotent. If you're not sure what that word means, omnipotent, it means all powerful, able to do anything. Hey, the cake is that foundation. And then the candles are each of us in this community that we call our spiritual community, Unity of Garden Park. You know, we draw from God, we draw from the source, and that ignites our flame. Let there be light. And also, we help each other to keep our lights bright, don't we? That's why we are part of a community. That's why we want to be here on Sunday mornings. That's why you've stuck with it for over a year through this technology to stay connected, to keep your candle on your birthday cake burning brightly. Think about it. Is that not true? We could be doing so many other things on Sunday morning. But somehow, some way, this helps to brighten your light and then go out in the world for the week and shine it to others. That's why you're here right now. None of us do this out of guilt because Unity doesn't do guilt. So you can say that, but I'm not going to buy it. It's not true. We don't do guilt. You're here by choice because you want your candle to burn brightly. I know you do, or you wouldn't be here. I'm going to take us to Let There Be Light. You know where that comes from, most of you. It comes from the book of Genesis, which is the very first book in the Bible, and it actually comes from the first 3 verses out of the first chapter in Genesis. And it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. I'll just say that last third verse again. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. If we, and I say we, if we are not experiencing the life that we want to be living, then it's time to uncover limiting thoughts. I want to tell you, when I was in Florida, Michael and I were gone almost 3 weeks in Florida, and I visited the minister down there in Unity of Venice, and we had lunch out on a picnic table. We packed our own lunch. We'd never met before, but I was very familiar with her, and I was also somewhat familiar with her mother's work. Her mother was a Unity minister, and her mother's name was Reverend Patricia Ryder. And she was a long time Unity minister, very successful down in Unity of Venice. And she last year made her transition. And Reverend Robin Ryder, her daughter, has now taken over the ministry there. Well, as I'm getting ready to leave our picnic lunch, we go back in the sanctuary one more time because, of course, I have questions. And she's got a basket in the front of the sanctuary, and it's filled with CDs. And she said, "You know what? As I was cleaning my mother's things out, I found these CDs, meditation CDs that she made, and there was a box of over 100. Matter of fact, I think she said 200. And I've been giving them away to our congregation because, remember, they're meeting in person, social distancing, in the sanctuary." And she said, "Would you like some?" And I said, "Oh, I'd love one." Well, she handed me probably 25 CDs. So I didn't have an access to play the CD till I got home. The title of this meditation CD is the cause of the title of my talk today. The CD is titled, "Let There Be Light." And oh my gosh, I'm going to ask her if we can make copies of this CD because I would love to get this in every single one of your hands. It is beautiful. And she talks about where I was starting to go. If we are not experiencing the life that we want to be living, then it's time to uncover those limiting thoughts and beliefs in order to change our minds about ourselves, in order to change our minds about life, in order to change our minds about certain people, in order to change our minds about the world. Ask yourself, what is it that has my mind hooked? You know, when I wrote that question down this morning, I was thinking about a song I sing with my grandkids a lot. We go for hikes, and when we go for hikes, they want to do, "Grandma, let's do Going on a Bear Hunt" song. And so we march on our hike and we going on a bear hunt. I'm not scared. I got my lunch at my side. And now we've updated the song, "and my iPhone too." And we pretend we're taking a selfie. And then there's always this thing in front of us. So, there's the woods or the forest, and we can't go around it. We can't go above it. We can't go under it. We got to get through. And I was thinking about that's the same thing about the things that hook our mind. We try to put them under the rug, and there's no way other than we got to go through it in order to heal it. How many of us have gotten our minds hooked on the tragedy in Atlanta this week of the horrific shooting of 8 Asian people being killed just because they're Asian. No other reason but that. How do you get unhooked from that? It's not easy. You know, also, I'd like you to ask yourself another question. What is it in me that's triggered in me that I'm not enough? Anybody have any of that going on in their mind? Whether it's today or this week, or maybe it's been a lifelong triggers, people triggering the I'm not enough in you. That's a biggie for me, because I struggle with that. Comes from when probably my earliest memory of 4 years old. I can remember when that meme was starting to come into my mind, that I'm not enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. You know, Sue Riley, did you really listen to the words, her last sing-along song, I Am the Thinker? And in that she says, I am the wisdom. I am the light. I can choose to be the light and brighten someone's darkest night. Oh, you know, she, in Patricia Ryder's CD, the meditation CD, I Am the Light, she talks about 4 areas of our lives that need encouragement. 4 areas in your life that need affirmation. Your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul. Your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul need constant encouragement and need constant affirmation. I'm going to start with the first one, mind. We've been talking quite a bit about that, the mind. Let there be light in my mind. How simple of an affirmation can that be? Let there be light in my mind. You all know this. I want to see your mouths moving. Thoughts in mind. You do know it. Produce of their kind. Principle number 3, right? I love this. I found this saying, and I don't know if I've shared it before or not, but it says, who of us has the space to carry other people's choices? I want to say that again. Who of us has the space to carry other people's choices? Think about what thoughts you hold in your mind. Think about how much space is taken up in our mind over other people's choices. Think about that. There's a lot, isn't there? It takes up a lot of space in here. I don't have room for this. No wonder I have a headache at times. There's no room in the inn up there because I've got everybody else's junk going on in my mind. It's time to clear out the clutter. You know, I think about a lot of people that I do work with in counseling. And I would say 90% of the time, they're there because other people's choices have consumed them. And they're letting it take their joy away. They're letting it take their peace away. I look at some of you, I think about so many people in my life, and trust me, this includes me, that it wasn't until I let them go, let their choices go, and not give them power over the results in my life, that then I had peace. I moved into what I call the higher mind, and that higher mind goes above your troubled mind. The higher mind goes above perceived illness. The higher mind goes above hurting. But we can't go to the higher mind when there's no room up here, because it's consumed with everybody else's junk. Let there be light in my mind. The second part was, let there be light in my body. Let there be light in my body. Another great simple affirmation. When you are feeling any dis-ease in your body, affirm quickly, let there be light in my body. You all know I've been saying this type of stuff to my back for 20 years, and especially after surgery in August. I keep affirming, let there be light in my spine. Let there be light in my spine. Let there be light if you've got heart issues, lung issues, a sore throat coming on, or you got restless leg syndrome. Let there be light in my blank. Fill in the blank for yourself. If there is any dis-ease or prognosis or diagnosis, call in the light immediately. I affirm the light. Oh man, I can feel that in my body right now. I believe this with passion. All of our great New Thought authors and metaphysicians all have been saying this for eons. Through the power of our words, our mind, we can control. We can have an effect. Oh, call forth the light. The next area, do you remember what the third one was? Let there be light in my heart. In my heart. Your heart is the driver of the vibration and frequency that you broadcast. Your heart is the driver of that. So many of us, think about this. See if this fits for you. It does fit for me. So many of us close our hearts because of someone or some event hurt or even crushed, maybe even crushed our hearts. Some person or some event crushed our hearts. And we close our heart and wear this protective armor, just like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. He built a wall around his heart. How is that working for you? Years ago, I had to ask myself, how was that working for me? Keeping this protection around my heart. It wasn't working for me. Those of you who have known me for quite some time know that I have, through a lot of work, step by step, cracked open my heart. And most of the time, my heart is wide open. It doesn't mean, though, when somebody pokes it or triggers something that happened way back when, that I go to this, but I don't stay there very long because I don't like my life like that. I like it like this. because it's so easy to keep my light burning bright when I don't close my heart. So think about how I want to read this to you. This is really, see if you can follow along. Being rude is easy. It does not take any effort and is a sign of weakness and insecurity. Kindness shows great self-discipline and strong self-esteem. Being kind is not always easy when dealing with rude people. Kindness is a sign of a person who has done a lot of personal growth work and has come to a great self-understanding and wisdom. Choose to be kind over being right. Choose to be kind over being right. And you'll be right every time, because kindness is a strength. It's hard to be kind when your heart is closed. Much easier to be kind and compassionate when your heart is open. So now we come to the final part that Patricia encourages us, need affirmation, needs encouragement. The fourth one is the soul. Let there be light in my soul. The soul holds everything that we have ever experienced. And at the same time, the soul has always known the spiritual truth. But remember, we keep this file cabinet back there unconsciously of everything that's ever happened. But the soul always knows the spiritual truth. In the soul, we know the truth. Think about this. At the end of every Sunday service I do, we say namaste. In the soul is where you truly say and mean the words that reflect namaste. That Christ in me truly sees and honors the Christ in you. That comes from the soul. When you can release that file cabinet back there, it's okay to keep it there because a lot of it keeps us safe. But the false belief that a lot of that stuff doesn't keep us safe, it basically keeps our heart closed. It's not keeping us safe. It's not keeping our light burning brightly. Walt Whitman says this statement, I love it. I am not contained between my hat and my shoes, and neither are you. I am not contained between my hat and my shoes, and neither are you. You are way more than this. Your soul needs affirmation. It needs encouragement. Because remember, we give power to everything in that file cabinet instead of giving power to the spiritual truth that you were born with. Let there be light in my soul. Let there be light in my soul. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is the first 3 verses of Genesis. It's the creation story, right? We have the opportunity to live the creation story every moment of every day. You are constantly creating. But what are you creating in your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul? What are you creating? Every moment can be a new beginning. Every day can be a new day for creation. Think about this. Just close your eyes for a minute and take this in. This is a what if. Ready? What if the only words we ever spoke were kind words? What if the only songs we ever sang were love songs? What if the only prayer we ever prayed was thank you? That would be enough. That would be enough. You know, I'll never forget when my 5-year-old grandson, he was 5 at the time, Miles, just out of the blue, innocently said, I'm going to make a love arrow and I'm going to shoot it into people's brains. If it could only be that simple. I'm going to make a love arrow and I'm going to shoot it in people's brains. A 5-year-old realizing, you know, the song, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just, what? Too little of. Yeah. So think about it this week. It's so easy to remember. 4 things. Let there be light in my mind. When those negative thoughts come in, the judgy words come in, be gone with you. You have no power over me. Let there be light in my mind. And mean it. Let there be light in my body. I'm sure 90% of us on this screen or on Facebook Live can admit to this. Who doesn't get up in the morning with a few aches and pains? You know, the old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. It takes a lot more for me to stretch and get my body going. Speak to it kindly. Let there be light in my body. Before you go into the doctor's office, let there be light in my body. And if there's a specific need you're going to the doctor for, then speak that area of your body. Let there be light in my shoulder. Let there be light in my heart. Let there be light in my lungs. Let there be light in my colon. Excuse me. Let there be light in my body. The third thing was the heart. Let there be light in my heart. These hurts, the perceived, and remember, they are perceived hurts. Yes, the event could have happened. The event may have happened. That person may have said that. Or I did this to myself, but it has no power over me. Let there be light in my heart. And then the fourth thing is let there be light in my soul. Let there be light in my soul so that when I start to question the spiritual truth that I know, when I start to question about the shootings that just took place, when I start to question anything that's not working in my life, let there be light in my soul. Let there be light in my soul. And if you feel like it, you can use your imagination and invent an arrow, and that's a love arrow, and shoot love into their brains. That's the power of imagination, isn't it? You know, let's go to our personal weekly affirmation right now as we start to close. And let's put it there. Look at it. It's coming on the screen here. This is another easy one to remember. Any perception of darkness has no power over me. I really should write this and take credit for it. I wrote this. Any perception of darkness has no power over me. I was born to light up the world. That's right. I want to see some smiles on your faces because this is positive. Ready? Any perception of darkness has no power over me. I was born to light up the world. Look at your smiles. One more time. Any perception of darkness has no power over me. I was born to light up the world. And so it is. So this week, remember why you take time on Sunday mornings to come join us through cyberspace, and why you're going to come and join us when we come to drive-in church on Easter morning. Why? Because you're part of this church, and your job is to draw from the foundation of God, the foundation of source, the foundation of spirit. As we look, somebody's candle's not lit. Can you see that? Uh-oh, they need to be reminded. We light each other's lights, right? So there's the cake. There's the church. That's you and me, burning brightly to light up the world. And with that, I say namaste. The Christ presence in me truly sees and honors that Christ presence in each and every single one of you. Namaste. And now, before the smoke alarm goes off in my house,